Hi, I'm Zach Stewart.
Laura Hotchkiss.
And I'm Daniel Kvoras. On this podcast, we improvise in character as hosts of a morning radio show in a fictional country called the Driftwood Isles.
Everything we say is made up, and none of the events, people, or places are real.
It's that simple. Now enjoy this episode of Good Morning Driftwood. And welcome back, folks, to Good Morning Driftwood. You got me, Dirk Wiley, on the mic, joined by my lovely co-host. I'm bringing a lot of aggressive energy today, fellas.
I love it.
Penelope MacGuffin.
1, 2, 1, 2. Check the mic. Here I am. Also here, also aggressive.
Here we go. How aggressive are you today? Bench PerDiem.
Fucking go.
Whoa,
Let's do this.
whoa,
Okay,
whoa,
but bench,
whoa,
bench,
whoa.
bench, bench.
Too far.
Language.
That fell too far.
This is a family show. We're bringing in a lot of heat, bringing a lot of energy. I can see you're just getting really carried away with it. That's okay. I want to stoke that fire, brother. I want to stoke that fire. But I also want to maintain our presence on the air and don't want to have to get canceled. You know what I mean?
Not again.
I don't want any sort of media violations.
Our show is the most cancelled show that there ever has and ever will be.
We get canceled repeatedly. We have the record for most times forcibly taken off the air.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday, surprising, but not that surprising when you really think about it.
No, it was we should have seen that one coming.
It was deserved. We shouldn't have let all of those lizards in. And it just upset a lot of people. And people had aggressive reactions. And those reactions necessitated us taking a break, taking a step back, cooling off. We're coming back today. We still have a little bit of that intensity, which is why we're real aggressive. But we've calmed down. Except for Bench, who's still bringing the heat. But we're going to find it. We're going to find that rhythm. And I've got some news for you.
Oh, hello.
It's also kind of on a bit of an animal tip. But we found a new island in the archipelago yet again. And nobody noticed it before. It's covered in different species of super intelligent bees. And they all seem to be working together in a type of bee utopia. Now, researchers believe that the bees can communicate and are, in fact, making fun of us, because the society they've created runs so harmoniously. And so the researchers are now lobbying the military to declare war on the bees and bomb the island out of spite.
I wouldn't mess with the bees.
Why do we need to
think?
bomb?
They're making fun of us. These researchers are real. They feel very slighted. And the military has responded by saying that they'd love to, but they can't find the bomb. We don't really have wars here, so we just have the one. We just have the one bomb, which is the classic, big round ball with a string poking out of it. So I guess the bees are safe for now. But what do we think? Should we bomb?
Have they tried?
If we find it, should we bomb these bees?
Have they tried the farm off the road?
To look for the bomb there?
Yeah. Like you take 2 rights, you see the statue of the cow, and then it's just to the side. Have they tried there?
Do you think the bomb might be there? What leads you to believe the bomb might be there?
I feel like last time I was there, I was buying a dining table and chairs set off the farm where they were selling it on. They'd had a renovation. And I remember being in the farm and then pulling some blankets off things and going, oh, that's the bomb, and being like, oh yeah, oh gosh, are you looking after it just now? And him being like, yeah, there was a party, it ended up here. And then
over the course of a party, someone brought the bomb to this farm.
Yeah, well, you know how it moves. It just seems to turn up in different places.
They give it around to whoever seems to want it.
It's not.
It's a bit irresponsible. Yeah, I think of the military,
but it's fun.
It is fun to have a bomb. It's fun to hold a bomb in your hands and just know that this is a bomb and could go off if I lit this string that's hanging out of it.
We also have the bomb rolling competition that we do every year. So they just...
Who can roll the bomb the farthest, the fastest.
Yeah, and you start at the top of the hill. And the thing is, you got to catch the bomb to roll it. So they just push the bomb over the crest of the hill, and then everyone takes off running after it to see if they can push it past the finish line first. I no longer compete in it after, obviously, the 3 broken clavicles, but You live,
Yeah,
you
repeatedly,
learn.
you broke your clavicles
I really
every
think
year consecutively for 3 years in a row.
Real problem to.
Are they still clicking?
Oh, you bet.
I
Yeah.
mean, I really think it's still amazing that they found a third clavicle in your body, whereas most people have just the two.
Turns
Yeah,
out if
What's the third
you
one?
turns out if you break them enough, one part will just float away and
Just
start
like
its own little clavicle
like a
life.
Medusa
It
situation.
created its own
Yeah.
clavicle.
Yeah,
So you had a trifecta of clavicles of a décolletage.
isn't it nuts?
Huh?
Your clavicles, your collarbones.
No, I got that.
They can be referred to as décolletage.
Never
Yeah.
heard that. That's
it's like a
Beautiful, isn't
fancy
it?
word for fancy
Décolletage.
people.
Is it French?
Décolletage. I'm not familiar. I don't know. I just heard someone say that. I'm like, that's cool.
It's a good
Fun.
word.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It sounds
Décolletage.
French.
Do you want to know
But I
some?
don't want to give them credit. Go
No.
on.
Do you want to know some bee facts?
I'd love it.
I
You
know a
know
lot
I
of bee
love an
facts.
animal fact.
I
Please hit me with
I
some
have a
bee
cousin
facts.
who's a beekeeper, so I have kept bees.
What do you mean by keep bees?
So like
you
you
held
get,
them in your,
yeah. You know how you like pull
like you were the home for the bees and they live on you?
Yeah, like I wore the white suit with the netting, and then I picked up one of the like rows of honeycomb from the hive with covered in
Oh,
bees,
so
and I
you're
held
not
it in
the
my
hive.
hands.
When you're
No.
a beekeeper, you're not keeping bees on yourself.
No, you're just like keeping them safe.
You're not the queen.
No, oh my god. So here's the thing with the queen. If the hive turns against the queen, they will overthrow them. Like,
Does
you know how
that happen?
can happen.
They turn against?
They can turn against the queen.
We have a lot of mutinies here. It feels like we might get along with them really well.
That's
actually.
true. We have a lot in common.
Yeah. So bees can overthrow. Oh, did you have a moment of
We
like?
did have a
did. It
moment.
was wonderful.
was
Yeah,
lovely.
that was cute.
Décolletage.
Décolletage.
So if they decide that the queen isn't treating them well, you know, they don't like the kingdom, they can overthrow that queen, and then they just impregnate another queen, which is essentially kind of how it happens.
You're the queen now.
Yeah, so they'll all go
What
and they
might-
will like create this new queen, and the queen is physically longer and thinner than all their other bees.
So if they all start
Just
banging one
just careful.
other
We
bee,
don't want to
then
get
that
canceled
bee. That's
this
true. That's why I
early.
said banging.
Yeah.
That's why I used the gentle term banging.
Yeah,
They all start doing that. That bee will just become longer and look
Yeah,
like a
the
and
bee
just
will
transform.
yeah, becomes like longer,
That's
graceful.
fascinating. What
Um,
would compel graceful as well?
graceful,
You're
yeah.
assigning an elegance to it. That's nice. I can
Décolletage.
co-sign that. Décolletage. What would compel a bee populace to become discontented with their queen and overthrow her?
If they don't like if they think there's been too many attacks, if there's not enough honey getting produced within the hive, like there's a lot of different
Economy.
things.
It's always
yeah,
the economy.
it's always the economy.
So if she's not inspiring enough honey production,
Yeah.
they're like, buck stops with you, queen.
Yeah.
We're the ones producing this honey, but if it's a
Yeah.
scale issue and, at scale it's not being produced enough, then
Yeah.
clearly we're not.
the workers really rise.
Tariffs.
Do you know as well that there are some bees? So, like the beehive, there's an opening where all the bees get in. Some of the bees' job it is just to be the doorman, and they'll stand at the door. And if the bees are getting in the wrong hive, they're like, no, and they'll turn them away.
The wrong hive.
Yeah, they're like, this isn't your hive, shoo, and they'll send them.
You
to their
don't
own
live
hive.
here, bee.
Yeah,
Move
they know.
along.
They know what bees live in what hive.
How do
and
they
they'll,
know?
like,
How do the bees,
Yeah.
why are the bees going to the wrong hive to begin with?
Just maybe confusion. Maybe they just had a difficult day of collecting
Aw.
pollen, and they've just gotten a little bit turned around on the way home.
Just saw one too many flowers
Yeah.
and they don't know what's what.
Yeah. And if a wasp gets in,
Oof.
so wasps will try and get in to eat all the honey. You two look
What?
genuinely upset by this.
Wasps are not
try
fun.
to infiltrate bees?
Yeah.
Bees they're cuddly little guys. They're all fuzzy. They're all nice. They look like they're having a great time in there. A wasp, that's a mean looking insect.
Mean. We don't like wasps.
We don't like wasps.
Bad.
And so they try to infiltrate.
Yeah, 'cause
and
they wanna
eat up
eat-
the honey.
Yeah, they want to eat the honey. And obviously the whole thing with bees is in summer, they're trying to create
I'm
enough honey to get them
appalled.
through the winter as well. Like they're trying to just,
That's part of it?
that's part of it. Like they're trying
They're
to create
panic shopping
enough
honey.
surplus. Yeah. They need the energy
like
then.
acorns and squirrels.
Yeah.
They just try and get as much as possible.
Keep
They're like
themselves going.
hibernates, like bears hibernating.
Just
Get all that fat.
keep them until springtime hits
like
again.
you would protein powder.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
In the wintertime, I know that I need a lot more protein
Mm-hmm.
energy. So in the summertime, in the fall, I really pack in that protein. Yeah.
Do you want to know
My
how they-
muscles are very dense that time of year.
And then they loosen up.
They loosen up. You can tell I stand and sit more rigidly in the summer and fall months
Mhm.
because of the muscle because the protein packing into my muscles. So I become very rigid, sort of a suit of armor of a man. And then gradually, as my body processes the buildup of protein over the course of the winter, I loosen up.
It's so healthy. It sounds healthy.
I understand the rhythms and the cycles of my body. And
there's
so
seasons.
much so. Yeah.
The seasons.
Do you want to know
of one body?
how they kill the wasps?
I want to know everything inside of your brain about bees, Penelope.
So many things. I'm going to show you a photo later of me and all the bees.
Are you wearing a bee costume?
I'm not in a bee costume. I'm in a beekeeper costume / uniform.
Why don't those look like? Why don't they have a little fun with it and make that look like a bee?
I guess it would be harder to get the bees off you when you're leaving if the bees thought they were just cuddling another bee instead of a very generic white outfit.
Or maybe they would be like, well, obviously this should be the queen.
Yeah.
Let's overthrow the queen.
She's taller and longer than anyone else.
Than anything we've ever seen.
She's
so
gangly.
graceful.
She's the longest and most graceful.
Her limbs, what even are they? So if a wasp is in, what they'll do is the bees will surround the wasp to try to overheat and kill it.
Overheat?
Yeah,
Overheat?
they'll surround it, they'll pack it, and they'll all just kind of like clamor until it gets too hot and the wasp dies.
Clamor. So like friction is what they're using to heat it, or just their body heat?
A bunch of them all just like, getting together.
And then they sort of like vibrate with one another. What makes them able to stand this level of heat that the wasp cannot?
That's a really good question.
Can I say, though, if we are going back to the news report about the Bee Island, knowing that is their like war strategy, I'm not that worried. I don't think bees can like
overheat us.
Yeah, we're kind of big.
It's a good point.
Oh, you want to test it? You want to go test it?
I guess
you go out there, you might get covered by a bunch of bees that'll start jiggling and wiggling and vibrating on you, and then all of a sudden your skin's burning up.
Yeah,
I don't want that. It does sound bad.
It's a risk.
Yeah.
You might be right, and we might be fine. But if you're not,
Bench, you're also
what a horrible way to go.
Famously allergic to bees.
That's true.
Oh, 100%.
You specifically should not do this.
I would not like to. I feel like I would die.
I'm not making you.
No one's asked you to do this.
Please stop.
No one has urged you to do this at all. You brought up this idea of you going there.
It felt like it was in the air. I felt the tension. I felt like the expectation.
You felt as though you were expected to be the front man for this bee war.
It felt like this entire conversation was just treading water until Bench, gets the courage to be like, I'll do it.
You felt
That's what I thought this was.
You felt like me and Penelope were talking about bee facts, just waiting for you to take up this mantle. The elephant in the room was, when is Bench going to go attack these bees for us?
Yeah.
We were not there. We were not there, buddy.
Okay.
I was just riveted by Penelope's bee facts. And it's good she knows all this stuff if we are going to go to war with these bees ultimately. I don't know if the researchers know all of this stuff because they seem very just intimidated and scared of the bees talking about them.
It's real weird that they wouldn't just go speak to a beekeeper. Do you also know
researchers are pretty like we know it all, so maybe they're insecure about that.
I don't want to take up too many like valuable radio minutes with bee facts.
I don't think we could spend too much time on bee facts. I think anything we have to talk about pales in comparison to bee facts.
Well, other bee fact is that if you ever see like a swarm of bees, like they're over like a tree. You know, you just see like a big batch of them and you're like, they're not supposed to be here. Mm-hmm. Where's their hive?
Okay.
What you would do is you would look for the queen and you would try and get the queen and then put the queen in like a box or something. And then all of the bees will just follow the queen. And that's how you can then take the bee hive to where you want them to be rather than
clear.
Like,
where you want
do
the bees
you want
to be.
me personally?
Not you, Bench.
Not
you don't have to do this.
It doesn't feel safe for
Literally
me.
Why do you have such a sense of personal responsibility with relation to bees specifically? You've never seemed to have jumped into like, you guys are obviously expecting me to do this.
We haven't really brought up bees that much before. Like,
is it because your name is Bench?
Bench?
There's the first two letters. The first two letters are the same. Bench B.
Yeah.
When you do B at the start.
I'm trying to get it. Don't ridicule me. I'm trying to get into your mind. Honestly, I applaud that you have such personal accountability in various things.
Anything
but this is the most aggressive you've ever been about it.
Anything that starts with the first two letters of my name, I think I have personal responsibility over. If there was a Ban Marie here, if there was a bear, if there were beards, I feel like
you have personal responsibility over all of those subjects.
Yeah. And I would expect the same from you guys.
Is it a Ben Marie?
Is it a BAI?
First-
I thought it was a BAI.
Is
It
it?
might be a
Bon Marie.
BAI. Maybe I'm thinking like bien. No, that's BIEN.
It's a B-
Yeah,
BIE.
I thought it was a Bain-Marie.
It's a bat. What did I say?
You said the first few letters of your name, so that's why you feel responsibility over Bain-Marie.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
I
was
mean
like,
the-
in my
like-
head. I had a typo in my brain.
You mean like the double boiler type thing, like a
Yeah.
water bath?
Yes.
It's a BAN-MARIE.
Oh, thank God, then I don't have to take care
You
of
can
those anymore.
let that one
that
off
one,
your
that one
conscience.
does not have
I
to.
have so many in my house that I've been cleaning.
Bon Marie's?
Yeah.
Why do you have so many?
I take all the restaurants Bon Marie's because I was like, this is I need to take care
What
of
are
this.
you? Are you selling them? What are you
No,
doing
just
with
cleaning
them?
them and giving them back to the restaurants, just upkeep.
This is a service that you provide for
Yeah.
free
It's been taking up so much of my time.
because of
Oh, we got
personal
a picture.
accountability. Oh, we've got a picture of Penelope with a
Just
bunch of bees.
Some proof of me.
that
and
is
some
you.
bees.
Hold
That's
that up
me.
right in front of your
I thought it
face
was just
there
a
for our
generic
video
picture of a
viewers.
Just me and some bees.
beekeeper. Don't dox yourself.
Penny and some bees.
Just some bees.
I don't think there's any location information in that other than if anyone recognizes those particular bees.
Steve, Jeff, Barry.
Are they all
Tobias.
male bees, these workers?
Yeah, because the queen's the lady.
What's the name of the queen?
I like the way you said
The
that.
queen's the lady.
Queen's
What's
the
her
lady.
name?
What's my name?
No, the queen's name.
Wait,
I know
did,
your
you
name.
meet, did you meet the queen or was she buried deep
I
within
met the queen. To have a picture of the queen, I can prove to you the
You met
difference.
royalty.
The difference between what
Did you
a
have
queen
to like
looks
bow?
like.
Was there protocol when you met the
I
queen?
feel like I know what's about to happen.
What?
Okay.
No, you
never
think
mind.
it's a joke. This is serious bee facts. That one with the
Oh,
dot.
Let me
Do you
see.
see
Can I
the
so
see?
elegant.
torso is longer.
Is that with the shiny green?
Yeah.
Wow, it
Compared
is
to the
long
other
and
bees.
quite elegant. Now that you
Yeah.
mention it,
Isn't that a good looking bee?
that's a beautiful bee. Also, the radiance of that sort of green shine.
Yeah, so like you
What a
pop that on the
beautiful
back so you
bee.
can just like easily
That
see
is
your
a
queen bee.
That
But
is a lady indeed. Oh
Mm.
wait, someone put that.
yeah, like a little marker pen. So you're like, there's the queen.
That wasn't natural.
No, sorry.
This is a cosmetic procedure.
You could. It's
She got work done.
Yeah, she got
I
work done.
saw that bee and I was like, this luminous, this beautiful
Hey,
lady bee
If
here.
she wants a tattoo, she can have a tattoo. Okay.
A lovely, lovely shade of emerald she
Yeah.
has.
I really think
She
it
really
complements
deserves
the oranges and the yellows of her.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
we are
But now
so
that I
close to getting
know-
canceled again.
Why?
I don't. It feels like we're just like tiptoeing.
I'd like to tiptoe around that bee. It's a nice looking bee.
We got canceled for lizards last time.
That's true. Animals are kind of a danger
It's
zone for us.
bad.
I'm feeling like. In summation, should we bomb these bees? What do you think? Let's take a vote.
Yeah, let's bomb the bees.
No,
No?
let them live. Ah,
I'm finding a fondness for these bees. I want to learn from them and
Bees are
potentially
great.
integrate them into our own population. Maybe we could create some sort of human bee hybrid that wouldn't be horrifying.
That would be a genuine problem for me
Why?
because I'm allergic to bees.
Maybe, though, if they were human bee hybrids, then you would have a natural immunity as a human. Or maybe they
I
would
will
just
die
kill you.
immediately. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one or the
again,
other.
it's a risk.
It's one or the other.
Again, it's a risk. I don't think there's any solution here or any path forward that isn't going to have a little bit of risk.
Yeah, bomb the bees.
That would also have risk because maybe it wouldn't kill
But
them.
less
And
for
they're
me.
clearly more organized than we are. That's the thing. So if our one bomb doesn't take out all of them, they could come back. And the bomb hasn't been tested or used in a long time because you can only use it once.
We
So
also
we
don't
don't
know
know
what-
how well it works or
We
if
also
it
don't
works
know
or what
what
size it is.
kind of bomb it is.
That's true. We found it a long time ago in a cave.
Nuclear?
I guess it could.
Probably
It could
not,
be.
but it could be.
We found it a long time ago in
It
that
was
cave.
a while.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Huh.
we're going to let the bees live for now, I think, and hopefully the researchers come to that conclusion as well. We will see you after the break. And welcome on back. I would love to just pick your brain more about bee facts after the show today, and maybe visit those same bees that you met.
absolutely.
make
I think
some
we
friends
should
myself.
do a little excursion to the bees.
Are they up in the north?
Yeah.
I wonder if they can communicate with these super intelligent bees on the island.
There's every chance that they are already,
Super intelligent.
super intelligent,
Maybe-
chatting away.
Maybe they're like infiltrating our society in that way. Maybe they can communicate over long distances somehow.
Hey, I've always, you know what I say, those hosts over at that #1 radio station sure seem like a little beehive to me.
You do say that.
I do.
I don't really understand what the joke is or what it means, but you do say it a lot.
One of them wore yellow and black stripes once.
That's what it's in reference to?
Yeah. That one time.
Okay.
To be fair, it was like, what, 3.5 years ago, so I get it if the reference doesn't immediately...
If I forgot that.
Ping to your brain.
Because I've seen them a number of times since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That day.
But now I know, so I'll be like, yeah, bees, right? Because that one sweater.
That one sweater.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice. How are you feeling, Bench? Are you just waiting for us to look at you and say you need to find you need to get to the bottom of this? Because you've been quiet and kind of tense for a moment here.
I've been genuinely trying to remember. Was it what was that word?
Décolletage.
Décolletage. I was like negligence. I was like, that's just negligence with a D.
With a D.
Are you just putting D's at the start of words?
I don't know.
Demi-glace.
Ooh. Wait, just say that word again.
Demi-glace?
No, the other one.
Décolletage.
Décolletage. I need to write it down.
Décolletage.
I don't think there's an O.
No. Décolletage.
We're now
all... No.
Literally every one of us is now.
Décolletage.
There is an O. There's way more letters in that word than I thought there were.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know when you type it into the search engine what the suggested things are?
What's that?
The autofills. Décolletage meaning.
Mm-hmm.
What is the meaning of that area?
What is the meaning of this décolletage?
Décolletage cream.
Okay.
Okay.
Décolletage area.
Sure.
That seems the same as meaning.
Yeah.
You're not really going to get, what are you going to get from that?
Well you're not going to
maybe just if you want pictures.
No, but I think if you don't know even what, like if you have a starting
area?
word. Yeah, if you don't know what the word means at all.
You're not going to like the next one.
You wouldn't do area.
Yeah.
Area is probably for some like freaks who just want pictures of décolletage. What's the next one?
Décolletage neckline.
Why wouldn't I like that?
Because it's very area, isn't it?
That's
area.
It's more specific. Yeah. It shows a level of at least basic familiarity.
A smidge of knowledge.
Yeah. If you're using that, then you at least know the general vicinity that it's in. Area is just like, whoa, I don't know what's going on.
Then décolletage treatment.
What would that be?
I'm not going to click on it to find out because I want to read 3 more. One of them is...
We already did like skincare stuff for it. So that's taking care of the skin. But treatment, maybe the décolletage treatment is trying to get the triple décolletage that you have.
Potentially.
Maybe you're trying to do crazy stuff with it.
I've heard of like really interesting body modification
like spikes,
things.
Like cool spikes in your décolletage.
Yeah, maybe they're doing like cool things.
Like bedazzle it. Like do little like gemstones along the edges.
Yeah.
All along it.
Décolletage.
That would be lovely.
Yeah.
I'm going to look into that. What is it?
Décolletage versus décollette.
Okay, what's décollette? And who wins?
There's also the last two are décolletage
is
dress
it an Italian
and
person referring
pads.
Sorry, go on.
Décolletage dress and décolletage pads. Have you ever
pads?
said
pads?
Like shoulder pads?
But a décolletage is in the front. What is the pad? What is a pad going to do?
Oh.
The French word décollette is an adjective for describing a low-cut dress, blouse, exposing some cleavage. That's not how you pronounce it. I just wanted to say it that way.
It's fancy. It's
or
fun.
the area on your chest revealing the same thing. Décolletage is the actual noun of that particular... Have you ever said a word so many times that you've lost all ability to say it?
Many times.
Because I don't understand it anymore.
Décolletage. So décollette is a low cut.
Yeah. The little sexy number.
So a décollette is something that shows off your décolletage?
Décollette shows off the décolletage.
Décolletage in French is only used in the metal manufacturing industry.
What?
If you want to show off your French vocabulary, only use décollette.
So French people don't say décolletage and they only use it in manufacturing?
Unless they work in steel.
Only French steel workers.
And what
in context is the French steel part of this?
A Terminator situation that they're building liquid
real
metal?
Nice chest.
Yeah.
What does it mean to French people? Because it sounds like a French word already, but they're like, no, that's just for our steel industry.
That's such a good impression of what French people sound like.
Oh no, it is just for our steel industry.
Put more in it.
It is just for the steels that we use the décolletage. Décollette.
I'm over here just very confused as to which word I'm supposed to say. Over here with my own baguette.
Well, do you work in the steel industry?
I am welder, as you say.
Then you do use a décolletage.
Oh, he's gone for mime.
Bench is just
He's gone for
miming.
silent mime.
This is an audio medium, Bench. What are you're pulling you just did a box thing and now you're pulling a rope through the box. You found, okay, now you're lassoing me.
He's looking for eye contact.
I'm sort of coming in there.
I feel like he's looking for eye contact because he knows that's like the whole thing with mimes and clowns is the the interaction with the audience and the eye contact. But I'm just going to refuse to give him it.
He's smoking a cigarette and now he's twisting his mustache. Is the cigarette in his mouth still as he's twisting the mustache? Is hanging off his Oh no, he burned. The cigarette burned him. The cigarette burned his. Oh no! Now he's taking off his clothes because the cigarette is burning his clothes.
We're gonna get cancelled.
That's true. We need to keep the clothes on. Well, thankfully, he kept the clothes on because he was deep in character as the mime, so he was just doing
the French art of mime.
Do French people not put the E at the end of that when they pronounce it?
I've never met a French person.
Maybe French steel workers do, but nobody else.
No, have you?
Yes.
Where?
France.
You've been to France, Penelope?
Yeah. Have you never just done a weekend jaunt to France?
No.
Why wouldn't you just go to France?
Many reasons.
A lot of reasons.
Scheduling.
I'm scared of the French steel industry now.
That's allowed. I mean, it makes sense. There's a whole tower dedicated to it.
There's a whole tower?
Yeah, the Eiffel Tower.
They're just rubbing our faces in it.
The one in Vegas?
No, the original. Can I blow your mind?
Bench, there is an original. I was aware of that.
Can I make him
because of my healthy fear of the French steel industry, I was aware of the Eiffel Tower.
Can I make him really
Bench,
upset?
Sure, go for it.
The Statue of Liberty was made by the French. It was a gift.
Décolletage?
Well, we broke his brain.
Décolletage is responsible for that.
Mm-hmm.
French
I suppose.
steel lady.
I'm still confused about what it
is. The Statue of Liberty steel or is she copper?
Bronze.
It has to be steel.
Yeah.
Bronze is too soft.
Or copper.
Metal.
Copper?
No, is it?
Because I think it was the green is the rust on copper, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
No?
I thought it was copper.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to have to revisit
yeah.
what it actually means with regards to the steel industry because I'm having a hard time finding that. I'm just getting the neck stuff.
We need to get a French steelman.
Copper clad.
If there are any French steel workers listening to the podcast,
or
please
copper
reach
lads.
out. Or what?
Copper lads. That's what Penny just said.
Copper.
Copper lads.
Copper lads?
Oh, sorry.
Would they know?
Did you? Sorry.
Would copper folks
copper
know
lads?
about
Is
steel?
Copper clad.
Oh, I heard copper lad.
No.
Maybe that's what they refer to each other as when they work on the folks.
You're a copper lad. That's
they use the British term lad when referring to one another, fellow Frenchmen who work in the copper industry.
You know how your surname would usually relate to like the job that you had in the village? Copper lad is a very prominent surname there.
In France?
Yeah.
Oh, as a last name, it's copper lad.
Copper lad.
Jacques
all one
Copper
word.
lad.
Kind of like how if you were...
Is that what Copperfield is from?
Yeah.
Fields of copper.
That's where they get the copper from.
That's where they get the copper from.
From the fields.
From the fields of copper. Décolletage. We're getting very, very sidetracked by décolletage and French steel.
Are we sidetracked or are we like really honing in on anything?
Exactly where we need to be?
I feel like we are.
I'm now just reading about the construction of the Statue of Liberty.
Okay.
That's a good thing to do while on the air.
Focus in on that because I think Bench has something for us. We do need to get on with our regularly scheduled programming.
I guess I'm really just thinking about French copper and steel.
Do you know 120,000 donors donated 102,000?
Donors like the meat, like the kebab?
No, like donors as in people donated $102,000. 120,000 donors only donated 102. That's less than $1 a person.
That's like some
for what?
group
For the
donations.
Statue of Liberty?
Yeah, the three of us will put in 20.
Like I'll put in 20 cents.
80% of the total had been received in sums of less than $1, equivalent to $34.
Who are the people? Is this This is the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah.
Is this the populace of France?
No, New York.
Group
I know
funding.
what this is. I bet they lost at gambling.
200,000 people lined the docks and hundreds of boats put to sea to welcome to the ship, bring in the disassembled statue. But they had to assemble it, and 5 months of daily calls to donate to the statue fund.
To assemble it.
To assemble
this was a crowdsourced funding effort to pay people to reassemble the Statue of Liberty that we got in a bunch of pieces from France.
It's the original Veronica Mars movie.
You know, like when you receive a gift and you're like, this is cool, but they don't understand that it's going to require other purchases to complement.
It's going to cost $100,000 and a ton of man hours.
Like you get given...
That's an incomplete gift. If someone gave you a bunch of pieces of metal and being like, it's a big lady... Like, what? I can't.
Like,
she's so elegant. She should be a queen.
This doesn't help me.
Like, say
this
they
isn't
give
a
you
present.
a
this
record
is a job
player.
and an expensive one.
Yeah, like say they give you a record player and then you're like, oh, I don't have a table for this record player to go on. So then you have to go buy a table and then you're like, I don't have any records to play on this. They gave me one record. I need more records. And then you go and buy more records.
And then you have to make the record.
Yeah.
This feels pointed because Dirk and I got you a record player for Christmas.
Yeah, and then you go 120,000 donors and you go, do you guys want to fund some records and like a table for me to put those on? And they go, here's less than $1. And you're like, oh, this is going to take ages.
So
it's going to take forever.
100,000 people.
5 months of daily calls. 5 months.
Daily calls?
Daily calls.
Wow.
Anyway, what were you going to talk about?
Did you like the record player that we gave you though?
It was great, yeah.
It was great. You got it built.
Spot for it?
Pardon?
Did you find a spot for it?
I found a spot for it.
Because we couldn't find all the pieces from one supplier. Like, no, it's hard to source something like that in Driftwood.
No, I get it.
So we had to eBay individual components.
Yeah.
And some we just couldn't find. So we were like, here's most of the pieces of a record player.
Out a research bit of also being like, we think one of these would fit, but we're not sure.
Yeah. There might be some stuff we missed on this list of things that you need.
Yeah.
But we think you can probably take it from here. We had put a lot of effort into it, and
we did.
And Christmas had come already, and so we're like, we gotta give it to her already. We don't know how long this is gonna take.
Now it's assembled, it does only play 7-inch vinyl and not like full size.
Okay, you should probably get some more components so that it can play full size.
She has a birthday coming up. We can get her more components.
Okay.
Just
do you think we can get her all of the components though?
We can try. We'll see how many we can find.
I'm not that invested anymore. We gave her the gift. It's kind of on her at this point.
Birthday.
And if she doesn't do it, it's kind of a slap in the face to us that she didn't complete the gift.
I mean, but like we just give the thing. Whatever she does with it is
I kind of understand the French people's point of view here.
Which one?
They're like, we made a bunch of metal pieces. You guys figure out how you want to put them together.
Yeah. The gift was the metal.
Yeah.
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 Décolletage. What are we talking about?
Did you have anything for us today, Bench?
I did. I don't know that we have to get to that, though.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's not that urgent. We can.
Okay. Do you want to kick it over to...
I'll just very briefly, because we don't have to say much about this, but the Driftwood Farmers Union have announced the discovery and/or invention of a new nut.
Oh.
Is it tasty?
Well,
or is it annoying and small?
So they are taking...
And is it actually a nut or is it a legume?
It's a good point.
I believe a nut is a type of legume.
Because last time you got us all excited for the new nut.
Yeah.
And then we were like...
I was like, this is a legume. You need to boil this and put spices on it. Nuts you can just pop open and eat straight away, maybe with a little salt. Legumes, you got to do a bunch of stuff with.
Yeah, no, this is a nut.
Similar to getting the components of a record player, if you give someone a legume... It's like, you're going to have to cook this.
Don't you get me excited?
You're going to have to do.
Well,
don't you get me all riled up for this?
Don't you put forth a bill of goods that you can't cash. Don't you get our expectations up about nuts anymore.
Don't you give me a half-organized Statue of Liberty that I'm going to take 5 months of daily calls.
There is a part here that would be very exciting for us,
100,000 separate people to enjoy this nut.
There's a thing that we are historically very fond of. There's a naming contest for this new nut. There's no name.
No, I'm in.
I'm in. Invested.
You guys
immediately invested.
So the union have described this new nut as, quote, small, brown, and nutty, with a nutty aroma and nut-like flavor. That's what they said. It sounds very unspecific.
I kind of get what it means.
You can imagine it.
Yeah.
Here are some names that they've already suggested that we can vote on or pitch any new ones. They have Klimp, Flape, Rohima, the Earth Goddess, and, of course, Dees.
How are you spelling Dees?
Good question.
D-E-E-Z.
D-E-E-Z.
Again, I have
It's a
not
pity
spelled
it's
it.
not B-E-E-Z, because then you would have ownership of
Bees.
it.
That's a good
Bees
point.
nuts.
Bees nuts. If it was bees nuts.
Yeah,
I think we
and
can
then
go
it
to
would
commercial
also...
What was the goddess one? Rohanima
Rohanima, the Earth Goddess.
Rohanima.
Rohanima.
Who is Rohanima, the Earth Goddess?
I don't know.
Is this
You
a
know who I
pre-existing
know?
thing, or are they creating this figure?
The
What's that?
Island of Bees. We should give the nuts to the bees.
A peace offering.
What?
And then we say, these are bees nuts for you. We
Bees
named
nuts.
these nuts in
Go to
honor.
commercial. Just
We
go to
named.
commercial.
I am not done, Bench. We named these nuts in honor of you. Please teach us your ways. Show us your wisdom. Fold us into your society, and please don't kill Bench because he's allergic to you.
And
Thank
then
you.
also, because the BE is like the BE in your name, you would have ownership of the nuts, thus creating the full circle of this connecting back to everything we've literally spoken about.
Beautiful.
Décolletage.
Décolletage.
I mean, if you want to force that in, yeah, okay.
And welcome back. We're putting all sorts of things together. Bench has become, since Penny pointed out him being having an investment over these bees and these nuts, he has sort of got an eye of the tiger sort of look on his face, and now he seems
What?
eye of the tiger. You're like locked in. You're like ready to.
You're playing Eye of the Tiger.
You very clearly are now like, I am the diplomat who will bring peace between
Like
us and
Rocky
the bees.
Balboa from the films.
The famous diplomat.
Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5,
First Blood?
Rocky Balboa,
Creed?
Creed, Creed 2, Creed 3.
Did he make any cameos in other films?
You could argue that every time he's in
Expendables.
Expendables, it's just Rocky Balboa, but you could argue that with most of those.
That's true.
Okay.
McLean.
Did I ever tell you about the time I went to see Rocky
Please tell
Creed
us.
at the cinema?
Please tell us, Penelope.
And there was a guy in the cinema, and he just lit up a cigarette and started smoking in the
Inside
cinema.
the cinema.
The film hadn't started yet. And then someone near him went, "You can't smoke here." And he went, "I'm not leaving. What if I missed the bit at the start where they tell me what happened in the previous Rocky films?"
He said those exact
Those
words.
words.
Which Rocky was it?
This was like Rocky Balboa. It was one of the new ones, like
Oh,
Old
okay.
Man Rocky. I
Wow.
want to say it was that or it was Creed, but he was expecting a previously on Rocky.
And he was
How did they do
expecting
that?
them to sum up all of the franchise
So he
prior to Creed.
so he refused to go outside to have his pre-film cigarette and instead smoked in the cinema with the 100 other people sitting around him going, "What?"
That is wild.
Yeah.
Also, do you think if it was a different film, he would be less emboldened? Because Rocky is there's a lot of machismo. There's a lot of
Real Eye
I'm
of the
the
Tiger.
champ, real eye of the tiger,
If it
real
was like
testosterone.
If it was like a Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris situation.
Sorry?
Huh?
Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris?
I didn't even think that would be a film that you would speak of, considering its relationship to France, which you will never go to.
It's called Escapism. I
But-
am
So
living
you don't
through
want to go to France, but you would
want-
like to experience France through this
Yeah.
Mrs. Harris? Who's Mrs. Harris?
Well, if you watch the movie, you will find out. She's a lovely woman
Does
from
she
Okay,
fight?
Ben,
England.
calm down. Because you clearly have very strong feelings for Mrs. Harris.
Does she win or lose against Ivan Drago? That's my
Good
big
question.
question.
I think she could take him
So
with kindness.
she could defeat him with kind. She's a
I don't
kind
think-
character.
Yeah.
I don't know because he's such a intensely trained Russian
ice cold.
fighter.
He's
Like
on
he's
a
ice cold.
chain.
He's not one to be won round by
I
kindness.
If
have a
someone
confession
gave
to
him a
make.
compliment, he'd
Systematic.
be like, "I don't speak that language,"
I
and
have-
punch that woman in the face is probably what he would do.
I have never
If
seen
they were to fight.
a Rocky film.
Oh my god, I could describe them all
That's
to you
a
right
real
now.
thing.
You've never seen a Rocky film?
No.
But it's the classic underdog.
Yeah.
The whole
Who
city of
then becomes the
Philadelphia is
overdog?
Yeah, I
based
get it.
around Rocky. Like Philadelphia wouldn't exist
Yeah,
if it wasn't
Philadelphia
for
is
the
the
Rocky
city
films.
inspired by Rocky. They made that film, and they're like, "We should make that place
Like
It
they did with
seems
the
like
Eiffel
a magical,
Tower."
Yeah.
a magical city."
It would be great to finish your jog up a set of stairs at a series of museums and art galleries.
It's the same
Yeah.
way they got the Eiffel Tower based on the Vegas one.
No,
Yeah.
No, there was
Yeah.
the Eiffel Tower.
I think you're
first.
getting your Eiffel Tower lore confused.
No,
like,
Yeah.
I think I got
it's
it.
like people with the Marvel Cinematic Universe where they're like, yeah, that one came before that one. Yeah, no.
It's all a jumble. It's all
when
jumbled up.
people with the Marvel Cinematic Universe are, that one came before that one.
Yeah, like that Spider-Man was before that Iron Man. What you're forgetting is that the Eiffel Tower in France is Iron Man.
But I think what you're not considering is the multiverse.
Ooh.
You can't just say that as an answer to things.
It has worked for me in the past.
It sold me. I was
really
like,
did.
He did say
Con-
multiverse.
I
think he just
I don't
won-
know
yeah.
what that means. Therefore,
Does anyone?
Maybe he's right.
Dirk, you have to stop just going with the person who says the thing you don't understand as the winner of things.
I really respect knowledge, as was evidenced by my immediate fascination and deference to you regarding B facts.
I
So
regret.
if someone clearly knows a word or a concept that I'm unfamiliar with, I assume they have the power and authority in that dynamic.
regret so much telling you that knowledge is power.
I took that to heart.
You really did.
I
I
took
mean,
that to heart.
there was the one time we told Dirk that the pen is mightier than the sword, and he threw out all of his swords, and he has so many pens in his house hanging up on mantles now.
I have all the pens.
So many pens. Very sharp ones, too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I have the best pens. Mont Blanc. I
French.
love a Mont Blanc
French?
pen. I don't know.
Do you know in France
I
they
just
don't
know
call
they're
it
a damn good pen.
in France they don't call it the Mont Blanc.
I believe it's the Swiss Alps.
Well, they
But
speak French.
It's inspired by a mountain, Mont Blanc,
Mm-hmm.
as is evidenced by their logo, which replicates the peak of Mont Blanc.
Yeah. But
Beautiful pens, Mont Blanc.
in France they don't call it Mont Blanc. They call it Mont Blanc, which is a word that sounds very much like the original word, but they only use it in steelworking, Mont Blanc.
Oh,
Is it a steel technique? Is it a steelworking technique?
Yeah.
That's similar
Which
to
is
creating a
confusing.
mountain.
Because you're like, that's the name of the mountain. We all say that. And they're like, no, that's literally only
different
a
thing.
steelworking thing.
French steelworkers are a very insular and cliquey lot. They're like, oh no, we have our own thing. We don't use those words. We're French steelworkers. Real catty.
Yeah.
A real sort of a mean
High
girls
school.
kind of crew. French steelworkers.
wasn't that the thing with the French Revolution, that there was like the aristocracy, there was the clergy, and there was the steel workers, and then there was everyone else.
And the steelworkers were really riling everyone up
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
causing tiffs because they were being so catty about things
Mhm.
and cliquey and passive
You
aggressive.
know, that's why they, with the Reign of Terror, with all the guillotines, what makes a guillotine? Steel.
Say guillotine.
Guillotine.
You definitely said
I said
guillotine.
guillotine. I
Yeah.
definitely
that
said-
makes sense.
you
And it
definitely
made it
said
sound,
guillotine
can I
before.
say, adorable.
It sounds so silly.
It
sounds
sounds
so silly
so
and
fun.
fun.
Do you not say guillotine?
A nice
No,
little
guillotine.
guillotine. A guillotine.
Is the L silent?
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of, yeah.
Why?
Because it's a French word.
Yeah.
You got to get on board with this thing called France. I swear,
I'm
you got
not-
to
I'm
acknowledge
not
it
buying it.
eventually.
You're not buying it.
Speak English.
It's
You're
like,
not buying into France as a concept.
Nah.
there's things
All right.
like, other things like trebuchet,
Trebuchet?
and then like
A trebuchet?
A
A
trebuchet.
trebuchet?
trebuchet.
It's a CH. It's a trebuchet.
That sounds like a man named Chet who plays a musical instrument.
Yeah.
Trebuchet. Treble chet.
Treble
Treble
chet.
clef. There was a bit of a walk to get there. I think it worked.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I like that.
Did you guys see my latest Mont Blanc pen? It costs $4,000.
That's a lot of money.
Beautiful.
So much.
What's it made of?
They're expensive pens. It's made of normal pen stuff, but there's a gold lining to it.
Okay.
It's made of normal pen stuff on the inside, but the decoration. Well, yeah, there's ink,
Okay.
but it's the finest ink. It writes so smooth, and in your hand, it feels glorious. There's a lot of engraving as well. The colors.
What does it say?
Yeah, what do you engrave on it?
It says whatever you want it to. You can write whatever
What-
you
but
want.
what do you
in it.
choose?
You can write whatever you want to.
Oh,
with
no,
the
no.
pen.
Oh, no, sorry.
It says
The
anything.
engraving
The
on the
engraving
pen.
on the pen.
The engraving. Oh no, the just designs are engraved
Ah.
into the gold.
Got you.
Yeah.
The design. What designs?
There's this particular one. It's very. There's a lot of linear, sort of wavy lines. It looks like sort of a river flowing through a mountain.
Oh,
Yes,
valley.
it's beautiful. No, through a mountain. It's a
Well-
mountain river.
But the river would be the valley going through the mountain.
No, rivers can go down mountains.
I think if a river is getting through a mountain,
Rivers
that is a
could
valley.
go down mountains. The snow at the top of Mont Blanc melts and goes down the mountain. How do you think that happens, Bench?
It melts
Through
at
rivers.
the top of the mountain? That's...
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What do I know? I've never been to France.
It's in Switzerland. I told you guys it's in Switzerland, Mont Blanc.
Someone should
It's
ask
the
Tina
Swiss
Turner.
Alps, I believe.
Someone should really ask Tina Turner.
I'm going to look this up, actually, just to make sure.
Rivers deep, mountain high.
I was thinking ain't no mountain high enough.
Ah.
was thinking, is
I
that
mean, if you
Marvin
went for like
'Cause that has
Rivers deep,
valleys.
mountain high, you could also ask Celine Dion. And then there's also a few other people that have covered it over the years, I guess.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Mont Blanc.
Was that what we were talking about?
Was it? It's all I can think about now.
I think
Mont
maybe
Blanc
Penny
makes the
has
finest
something.
pens. I would love to reach out to Mont Blanc.
Do you want to? That's what we could do. Is we could just like once we're done here, we'll just get one of your pens,
Write
a
a
real
letter
nice
to Mont
letter.
Blanc.
Yeah.
We would
Do you want to?
Just
bring
an
them out right
appreciation.
now, but we can't right now in the middle of the record.
No, like
Are you sure?
I think we should. Let's do it. Let's just
Do
wrap
you
up
want
here.
to?
Let's
I
wrap
just-
up here and let's just
Okay.
go write a letter.
Okay, fantastic. We can all write a letter.
Yeah.
With a pen, I can pass it around.
Yeah.
If
Sure.
you guys like,
One word at a time.
do you guys have like gloves or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 'cause I really want your, like,
yeah.
Hand oils
Yeah.
on
That's-
my pen.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
totally
get close.
fine.
Beautiful pen.
Yeah.
A phenomenal pen. Finest pens. Penny.
Oh, are we not writing the letters just now? I was gonna get Matthias to just like play one of the old, you know how we like record every episode. He could just play like some filler from that. I don't think anyone would notice, and then we'll just be done.
All right. I'm okay with
Like-
that. I would happily, any opportunity I have to use my Mont Blanc pen, I'm going to take you up on that opportunity.
yeah.
So thank you, Penny. You're my favorite person right now for
Aw,
letting me
thank
use
you.
my beautiful
Hey.
Mont Blanc pen.
Suck it, Bench.
You seemed a little more resistant to using the Mont Blanc. So you're
Do
in,
you remember earlier
you're in
when
the
we
doghouse.
we said the same thing at the same time? I don't
That was a
remember
nice
what it was.
moment. That was a nice moment.
Hey, décolletage.
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 It's a soothing phrase to my soul. All right, so we're gonna go get to those letters, but Good Morning Driftwood is brought to you by Johnny Chancho's Ponchos. Coats and jackets are out, ponchos are in, so you should get in the finest of all ponchos, Johnny Chancho's Ponchos. Nobody needs to see the shape of your body. Wouldn't you rather look like a sexy lumpy cloud? You can with Johnny Chancho's Ponchos. And no, it's not just a piece of fabric with a hole in it for your head. It's way more complicated and cool than that. So stop saying it. It's not just a sheet, it's a fashion sheet. But be careful in strong winds because it will catch that breeze and push you over. So come on down to Johnny Chancho's Ponchos and get a poncho for every occasion. And ask about their new security ponchos, which are made of custom-shaped steel and weigh 53 kilograms, possibly French steel, who knows. But they can stop high-powered rifles and most low-grade artillery assaults, except your face because your face will be poking out of the top. Johnny Chancho's Ponchos, we thank you for your sponsorship. For Good Morning Driftwood, we'll see you soon. Good Morning Driftwood is executive produced and hosted by Zach Stewart, Laura Hotchkiss, and Daniel Kvoras. Engineered and produced by Zach Stewart. Music by Daniel Kvoras.